to the live line. Coach Bill Conley joins us for a few minutes live with Sports Director Matt McCoy. Coach C, Matt and I were talking earlier this morning, and he just walked it through, basically everything. And when you look at Ohio State's O-line versus Wisconsin's O-line, D-line, backs, special teams, all that, he feels like Ohio State has the edge on every single platform. You feel the same way?
Yeah, I'll tell you, both these teams, Joel, they're 1 and 2 in every major category in the conference in terms of offense and defense. But I think, Ohio State's offense is third in the nation in rush offense, and Wisconsin, everybody talks about their great rushing game, but they're 17th. But here's the difference. The difference is a man named Justin Fields. I think he is the difference in this ballgame. They have a good quarterback. Cone is okay, but he's not the running threat that Justin Fields is.
Yeah, I can tell you what, J.K. Dobbins for me is a guy that performs every week, super high level. And I'm not saying he doesn't get any love, but he doesn't get the love I feel like he should.
Yeah, an amazing thing is in the Big Ten Conference, Taylor has is first with 957 yards. Dobbins is 947. He's just 10 yards behind. Then you throw in Master Teague, who's sixth, and now you got a great 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about it. Bill, does it bother you? Well, let me ask you it this way: when you were on the coaching staff, if you had a big game against a really good team, and the week before that really good team lost, was upset, did you care about that? Did that bother you? I bring that up because Joel and I are like, boy, I mean, I don't like Wisconsin coming in here off of a loss. Does that matter at all when you're thinking about it? Like, does it give them any extra edge, or who cares? Let's go out there and smoke them.
No, you got to do business as normal. You really do. This team has been Ohio State's team has really been a high-performing team every week. The only difference is we haven't had to play 4 quarters completely. We may have to do that, so you better be ready. But, I think the 12 o'clock kickoff is a great thing for Ohio State. You know why?
Why is that?
Badgers are nocturnal. They don't wake up till the evening. It's a done deal.
I like that. I thought you were going to throw out the stat that Ohio State hasn't lost a 12 o'clock game since 2011, which is
well, that doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
it's because they're playing sleepy teams. That's why.
That's right. You know it.
Did last
what
week?
What happened last week in the daytime? Illinois killed them.
Yeah, that's right. Did last week, in your mind, was Wisconsin exposed at all, or was it just a really good team having a really bad game, and they just one of those days that happens sometimes in college football?
Yeah, it's probably more the latter, because if you look at the games before, they pretty much handle things. But they've had the difference is they're not as an explosive team as Ohio State, and when you can't make a big play to pull away from somebody, you keep the games closer naturally. So I think that's a big plus for Ohio State.
It's those things, though. I mean, when you look at Jonathan Taylor, you look at the backfield for Wisconsin. I mean, isn't that something that the defense is just going to have to totally key on him and not worry about much else?
Well, you got to an extent. I mean, it's all down to distance based. So that's what you got to do, Joel. You got to look at those situations, look at the stats. What do they do on that second and medium, that third and medium, which are the downs are really the key, I think. Ohio State's balance, Joel. It reminds me of when you used to be in the circus, and I go watch you in the circus. You were a tightrope walker, and the reason you never fell, Joel, is because you had great balance. And this is the thing with this Ohio State team. They got great balance every phase of the game: offense, defense, special teams are great.
That gets by a lot of people, Bill. Thanks for noticing.
Oh well.
Hey, do you look at this looking at the perimeter? You mentioned the big difference maker is Justin Fields. I mean, if you look at the matchups, that's a clear advantage for Ohio State. What about athletically on the perimeter? Ohio State with the number of receivers they have now. Wisconsin's got a couple of good receivers that the Buckeye DBs are going to have to keep an eye on. Danny Davis and Quentin Cephas are really good. But the depth of talent Ohio State has out wide, is that a problem in your mind for Wisconsin, or can they match up with that?
I think it's definitely an advantage of Ohio State, negative Wisconsin. Wisconsin, in their receiving situation, they've only got one guy, or they don't have anybody in the top 10. And we have so many different weapons to go to and so forth. And then on the reverse side, our secondary with Jeff Okuda and company, and the key guys back there, Fuller, who is doing a great job of managing the whole thing. I think in those skill positions that way, again, advantage Ohio State.
Good stuff. Bill, we'll listen for more coverage as we roll through the week. Matt, thanks. And you just keep it in mind, Wisconsin, the last 6 years, we beat them by 4-11. We beat them by 7-12. We beat them by 7-13. We blew them out in 14, but then it's another touchdown in 16 and 17. What kind of games are going to be? We'll find out as we get closer and closer to game day. More coverage here on 610 WTVN.